All right, y'all. In this video, what we are going to be talking about are similar figures, okay? So, first thing we're going to talk about, first question, is we want to determine if these triangles are similar or not. All right, so, because I love my colors, I'll start color code and everything. So remember, our angles and our sides are related. So, the side, our angle controls the side across from it. And so we see that all of our angles, you can barely see that yellow, tragic. There we go. So we see the side across from our little angle with one marker. Those are going to be, they're going to be related, all right, because those angles are congruent. These sides aren't going to be congruent, but they are going to have a relationship, all right. Next one, this angle marker with two little lines go across, highlight that side. Okay. And then our last one, the side across from our angle with three lines. Okay. So now we are going to set up some proportions. And to determine if they are similar, we need the ratio to be equal for all of them. All right. So we're going to do triangle ABC up top and triangle DEF on the bottom, right? So it's really important that you stay consistent, okay? So we're going to do AC over, right, it's going to be DF. Those are our green sides. We're going to check this side first. So AC is 8, DF is 10. If you simplify that, we get 4 over 5. All right, so this is 1. Our next one, let's do AB over ED, right? Those are our yellow sides. So we have 12 over 15. If we simplify and reduce that fraction, we get 4 over 5. So far, this is looking good. 2 of them line up. Lastly, let's do BC over EF, our blue side. So BC is 16. EF is 20. Oops, not EF. There we go. 20. If we simplify that fraction again, we get 4 over 5. So, all of our ratios are the same. Okay, so that tells us, yes, they are similar. So now we can write our similarity statement. And then we're going to write out the scale factor. So, let's see. We'll just put it right here in this little box. So our similarity statement, this is like when we had to write our congruent statements for our triangles. So we're going to do triangle A, B, C is similar to triangle. So we went yellow side to blue side. So A, B, C. So it's going to be D, E, F. Right, and that's our little symbol for similarity. Those are similar, and our scale factor is 4/5. All right, always leave that as a fraction. Okay, so that's determining if they are similar. These next three, or the next three examples, are going to be all about finding missing values. Okay, so we know that these two triangles are similar, so we want to find the missing information. Okay, so first things first, we want to split these into two triangles. All right, I would always separate the drawings, and I always kind of draw them somewhat to scale so you can at least tell. All right, so this little side is Y, this little side is X, and 5. Then we have 6, 8, and 10. Okay, so since we know that they're similar, we know that these two sides are related, these two sides are related, and then our last set of sides are related. Okay, and so now when you want to solve for something to see if they, or solve for these missing values, you're going to set up a proportion again. So we're going to do small triangle over big triangle. It doesn't matter, you will get the same answer as long as you plug everything in correctly. Okay, so you always want to pick sides that's going to give you number. Like, you want a fraction that's going to have number on top and the bottom. You can't have variables on both sides. right? You wouldn't know what to do. So let's do 5 over 10. We have our blue side. And so we can just go ahead and solve for x first. So that purple side on the small triangle is x. The purple side on our big triangle is 8. Okay? So now we cross multiply, or the butterfly method, as some people's teachers have called it in the past. Okay? So we have 5 times 8, which is 40, equals 10x. Divide both sides by 10. You get that x equals 4. Okay? Similar concept when we go to solve for y. Right? I would still just use this blue side. Okay? So we have 5 over 10 equals, now we have to use our green side, y over 6. Okay? Again, cross multiply. Oops, I just realized that was cut off. There we go. 5 times 6, so you get 30 equals 10y. Divide both sides by 10, and you get y equals 3. Okay? That's how you'd solve for these. The next two that we're going to go through are a little different in the sense that there's some algebra involved. Okay? So what we want to do is, again, since we're given that they're similar, we're going to go ahead and highlight. So we have, this is where things are a little tricky because the sides aren't congruent, right? So this is where we need to use our similarity statement. We know that side WL is going to be similar to QB, right? This is how we break down our statement. So I goofed. I highlighted wrong. We're going to color WL in green. Sorry, guys. WL is similar to QB. All right? And then LJ is going to be similar to BV. All right? LJ is similar to BV. And then lastly, WJ is similar to QB. Okay, so we have all of our color coding set up. Now we can start going through it. Okay? So, first things first, we have our marking. So this tells us our green side and our purple side on this triangle are congruent. So I'm just going to go ahead and copy this information. Same thing happened right here. Okay? So, what we're going to do, we are going to set up, and we only have an X this time, so we only have to do this once, which is kind of nice. So let's do our big triangle on top. That I personally just like to go left to right. Okay, that's, again, just whatever you like to do. So we need to solve for X, and we can pick any two sides that we want, the way that this is going to work out, actually. So let's do purple and blue. Okay, so we have purple on our big triangle is X. Purple on the small triangle is 5. Equals blue on our big triangle is X plus 6. Blue on our small triangle is 8. And now it's time to cross multiply. Okay, so we have X times 8, which just gives us 8X. Right? Now we have 5 times X plus 6. You guys remember from Algebra 1, you're going to distribute that 5 into your parentheses. So you get 8x equals 5x plus 30. Subtract 5x from both sides. So you get 3x equals 30. Divide both sides by 3. And you get that x equals 10. So we know this side is 10, this side is 10, and you come back up here and you plug in 10 for x. 10 plus 6 gives you 16 for that side length. All right. Last one that we're going to do. All right, let me go ahead and fold this over just so we have plenty of, there we go. We can see it perfectly. So again, we are going to need to match up our sides. So we have that GK is going to correspond with VR. So GK is right here. VR is right here. Okay, it is so easy to get lost in all of the different letters and stuff, guys, so I cannot stress this color coding enough. Okay, up next, KN corresponds with RP. KN corresponds with RP. Alright, now we have NM is going to correspond to PT. NM is going to correspond to PT. And then lastly, GM corresponds to VT. Ah, there we go. My highlighter got stuck for a second. Okay, so we are going to go through the same process. You take a look at your shape, so you want to identify one pair of sides. It's going to give you a number on the top and the bottom for both triangles. And so if we look, we can see that green side, both figures have actual values, and same thing with the purple side. Oh, and the blue side. So it's just the yellow one that we're solving for. Okay, but let's do left over right. Okay, and so we know that we need to solve for our yellow, so let's automatically, first things first, use our yellow. So our yellow side is 3x minus 2. Our yellow side on the right is x plus 4. And then it doesn't matter which one you use. I want to avoid the blue one because decimals are icky. So let's use purple. Okay, so purple on the left is 4. Purple on the right is 3. All right. So now it's time to cross multiply. All right, so we have 3 times 3x minus 2 equals 4 times x plus 4. All right. Again, we got to distribute in on both of these. 3 times 3x gives us 9x. 3 times negative 2 gives us negative 6. We distribute that 4 in, we get 4x plus 16. And now you want to solve for x. So let's subtract 4x from both sides. So we have 5x minus 6 equals 16. Why do I not like this? No, I guess we're just going to get an interesting value for x. Alright, now add 6 to both sides. So we get 5x equals 22. Divide both sides by 5. You get x equals 22 over 5. Or it's also going to give you a decimal. There's a very real possibility that I made some sign error in here, so apologies if I did, but the process was there. So, yeah. Hopefully this kind of helped clear up any confusions. Let me know if you have questions.